Hi everybody, how's it going today? For anyone who is new here, thank you for being here. My name is Suze. I work with women to help them find balance between their internal masculine and feminine energies so that they can have lives that feel really emotionally fulfilling, full of love and connection. That total emotional fulfillment, 10 of cups energy, I often like to say. For those of you who have been watching me, following me, listening to me, being with me, sitting with me, I really welcome you back. Thank you again for being here. And you'll notice there's a lot of things out of the norm for me here today. I'm wearing my glasses for one thing. I'm wearing a super cozy sweatshirt that says "Be Kind" on it. And I'm seated on the floor of behind my desk area. This is the chair where I usually sit in at my desk. This is kind of my office space where I usually do my videos and work at my desk here, and I love it. But today, as I'm recording this, this is the day after the full moon in Capricorn. It is Tuesday for me, but this video will not be going out until tomorrow, Wednesday for me. But at this time, I'm really noticing a serious need for grounding. And so I am on the floor, and I also, on my floor, I know you can't see it below me, but I actually have this large, beautiful jute rug, which I love. I love my natural fibers. And so I thought that sitting on the rug today and doing this from the floor on my natural fiber jute rug with my beautiful wood behind me and my Buddha, my Zen Buddha behind me, would really help with the grounding aspect. The full moon in Capricorn was a lot more intense than I think a lot of us, that I know that a lot of us were anticipating. I had been given fair warning in astrology that this full moon was going to be pretty significant. But even with that head knowledge, I wasn't emotionally prepared for how dramatic this last full moon in Capricorn was. And I'm actually interested too. I know I've never asked this question. If you wouldn't mind, anyone who's jumping on listening, drop down in the comments below. Let me know what sign you are. What is your astrological sign? I know in a video recent I was talking about feeling my Taurus moon. I clearly am still feeling my Taurus moon right now. If you guys could feel the inside of this sweater, it is so soft. And again, the grounding of the floor, the softness of the fabrics, the comforting, the grounding, wearing my glasses, a lot of that is that Taurus grounding, earthy energy coming through. And I have a Taurus moon. I am an Aquarius sign, sun sign, and Taurus moon. So I'm curious, what are you guys? What are your signs? That will really help me know. I'm always curious, the collective of people that are being attracted into my message, that are resonating with my message. I'm always curious what you are. And then if you know your human design, I will be talking more about human design eventually on this channel. I'm curious if anyone knows about human design. What is your human design and what is your authority in your human design? I am a projector with emotional authority. Clearly, because I talk about emotions all the time, and I clearly move myself intuitively according to my intuitive emotional knowings about knowing that I need to be on the floor today for my videos that I record today. So emotional authority projector. So I'm curious what everyone else is out there. And if you don't know what that is, that's okay. I will be covering it later. I will also actually in the description box, I will drop a link to a website that you can go to find what your human design is. Human design is very energetic, categorizing of how you manage energy and where your alignment is with energy and how to know when you're out of alignment with energy. It's really, really powerfully energetic speak for who you are in your energetic being state. So I really love it. It's a really, really specific tool to help with those kinds of things in guiding your life, creating an authentic, aligned life. So anyway, today I'm going to talk a little bit more, again, in this grounding, settling energy. I kind of want to take a break from Sorry, I got notification there. Take a break from my talking about the mother wounds and the emotional cycles. And some people would think of it as like your karmic, self-sabotaging, self-limiting, self-imprisoning stuff that's going on. And I think of that often as like the garden, right? What are those weeds that are blocking the garden of your heart? I want to take a break from that for a hot second to really respect what happened for a lot of us in this full moon in Capricorn. I had quite a few people, I know I'm not alone in this because I had quite a few people in the days leading up to even the full moon, people really having some crazy, chaotic, really big emotions happening, really confusing emotions happening, longings and heart activations and softenings and confusion, really big waves of emotion happening for a lot of people leading up into this Capricorn full moon. And I know my experience was extreme excitement. It was almost like the clouds started to clear for me, the sun was bursting out, and I had all this inspiration and all of this like excitement and epiphanies and optimism and motivation to move forward, inspiration of what to do next, and which is wonderful. But when it comes rushing in really, really quickly, it can be overwhelming, right? Anything of excitement, right? And that's really what the journey is. And what I love to talk about usually on this channel is those emotions. They can even be positive emotions that can like come in and overwhelm you. How do we deal with the overwhelm? How do we deal with the influx? How do we deal with the ebbs and the flows of emotional waves? Whether they be positive or negative is really irrelevant. It's all just energy and emotions. And so again, I'm really focusing on the grounding, being really real, being in that Taurus energy, coming out of this and kind of recouping from what we've been through. You know, like I said, I'm an Aquarius. I'm curious if anyone else listening to me is an Aquarius, because if so, we have been through a really, really challenging cycle in, sorry, someone keeps texting me. We've been in a really challenging cycle for the past 2.5, 3 years. We just came out of it, I should say. You know, Saturn being in the sign of Aquarius for 2.5 years, finally moving into Pisces back in March of this year. Really, really dramatic. But it's not just Aquarius. You know, this, with everything that is happening astrologically, yes, we just had the Capricorn full moon, but even more than that, all of these really powerful big players with the planets and where they're aligning in the sky right now, it's a really big time of upheaval for everyone. Really, this massive crossroads energy of what are you going to do next? Have you learned your lessons from the past? Are you going to keep repeating these loops that are not making you feel fulfilled? Or are you finally going to step into a new future, a new paradigm, a new reality, a new identity, a new story about your life, maybe, a new mindset, a new emotional pattern that is healthier and more empowering and more fulfilling? What are you going to do from here? We've had so much massive awakening, and there's even more coming this month. We have the nodal shift on the 17th, among other things. The 17th is going to be very powerful astrologically. But and I'm not going to get into that because I usually do this kind of stuff on my Saturday videos. But there's a lot happening for all the signs right now of really seeing things clearly, seeing a different perspective, seeing other options and possibilities, and what are you going to choose from here? What are you finally closing the door on? What are you choosing from here? And again, this can be internal, and it's not always external. A lot of times it is external of, you know, maybe quitting a job, leaving a relationship, moving, deciding to follow your soul's path and go become self-employed, become a healer, like the work I do. You know, radical, massive life shifts and transitions often are what happen in this kind of energy that we're in right now. But sometimes it's just as powerful, but only you know about it because it's happening internally. Like I said, for me, it's been a huge, with Saturn coming out of my sign, it's been a huge moment of I finally have taken responsibility for everything in my life, and I am choosing very carefully and slowly and consciously and mindfully what I'm investing my heart and energy into. And if something comes across my path and it is something I don't like, I don't fight it. I don't feed more energy into it and make it stronger. No, I completely starve my energy of it and invest my heart space energy in the places, in the things, in the people, in the situations, in the lifestyle, in the mindsets, in the things I do want, right? And it sounds really, really simple, but when you're doing really deep subconscious healing and childhood healing and self-sabotaging patterns that you have literally been creating and operating in habitually, subconsciously for an entire lifetime, it is very meticulous, it is very impeccable, painful, deep work of, again, ripping those roots out at the core. So all of that to say, my message for today, I'm already like almost 11 minutes in. I wanted to talk about a yogic principle that I was studying when I went through yoga teacher training. There was this book, The Yamas and Niyamas. Some of you may know it. Amazing book. Yeah, The Yamas and Niyamas, which are really like, it's almost like a code of ethics, almost like a code of ethics for anyone who's living a yogic kind of path or in the philosophy of like a Zen lifestyle, a peaceful, harmonious, surrendered lifestyle, which if you are listening to me on this channel, you probably are somewhere on that path in your own way. And the principle that I want to talk about today is Ahimsa. Ahimsa. Spelled that wrong. I switched that. Ahimsa. 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 It's the one with the hand. You may see the hand. And it's the principle of non-harming. And in the book that we were reading talking about Ahimsa, it was really interesting. The non-harming or non-violence is another way of saying it. And whenever we say that concept of non-violence, I think for most of us, and this is me when I was reading the book, you instantly first think about, well, yeah, I don't want to harm other people, right? Like, why would I want to harm other people? I don't like violence. I don't want to be violent towards other people. Of course, that seems so obvious. But in this book, it's really, again, bringing the focus inward of the things that we're doing that are harming ourselves and coming back to that. And that is why I chose to wear my Be Kind sweatshirt today, because coming back to this whole chaotic full moon in Capricorn energy, if you went through this really big emotional thing over the past week and are maybe coming out on the other side of it, or maybe you've been through several years of really, really one massive challenge hitting you over the head after another, coming out of it, you may feel really beaten down and exhausted and drained and confused and feel like you're just ready to give up because nothing seems to be going right for you. And if that is you, this message is for you today. And I want you to take the principle of Ahimsa and be kind, be gentle, be non-harming to yourself. And this, of course, requires a mature, bigger picture. The greater mind, the big picture, big mind thinking here. I'm not going to choose something in this moment that may, in this moment, make me feel a superficial sense of satisfaction or fulfillment, or I'm going to be careful not to choose instant gratification that I know down the road a little bit out there more, it doesn't actually really truly fulfill me or satisfy me or bring me the things I actually want in my life. I'm going to slow down, be kind to myself, recognize what I have been through or what I'm still kind of coming out on the other side of. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to allow myself grace and space and forgiveness. I'm going to ground down and let myself be gentle, be tender, be nurturing, be nourishing to myself. And then when I'm ready, I can get up and stand again on my own 2 feet. But there's no rush. and I'm not going to rush the process, and I'm not going to shame myself. That's wounded masculine right there. Shame myself saying that I should be somewhere else, or that I should be over this by now, or I should be doing something instead of resting if that's what's needed. No, I'm going to really listen to what I need and nurture myself. Give myself those things that really do make me feel fulfilled and satisfied, and then move forward. Ahimsa, non-harming. I do not engage in patterns of thought. I do not allow myself to feed into energetic, emotional cycles. And I don't participate in physical things, situations, whatever, that harm me and that don't bring me the bigger picture of fulfillment, satisfaction, wholeness. That's the word. And I'm wearing my bracelet that has the engraved, the whole on it. Love it. So in closing, since we were kind of talking about a yogic principle, I wanted to pull an oracle card from my Yogic Path deck. Again, this turquoise color I am seeing coming up everywhere for me. It's clearly speaking to me, that water, emotional energy, very refreshing kind of a color. I love it. So I did forget to pre-shuffle. So let me just do a quick little shuffle on the floor here. I will pull one card. It would be hysterical if like Ahimsa came out or something like that. It'd be like so funny. But we'll see what comes out. Message for guidance. Wow, it came right out. There's a lot that wants to be spoken today. 2 cards came out. I wasn't planning on doing that. But Sattva and Parvati. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm loving the purple. The idea of the purple flame, the violet flame is some other thing that has been coming through for me too. I'm going to read a Sattva first. Give me a moment to find it here. These are brief, so this won't take much more of your time. These readings are really 37, which comes to a 10. I love that. Page 37, which goes to a number 10, which is, again, the end of a cycle. The worst is over. I love that. In the upright, purity and clarity. You have let go of the things that were holding you back and are reaching deeper levels of clarity. Maybe you've cleaned up your diet, home, self-care products, relationships, thought patterns, career goals, or life outlook, and are now experiencing the joys that come with purity. Sattva. Isn't that just what I was saying? The space you have created is allowing greater gifts that are more aligned with your truth to present themselves. Continue on this path towards clarity by shedding all that is no longer serving you. When your body becomes pure, your thoughts and life will reflect that. Bring sattva, purity, into all that you do, and your path will become more clear. I also love the eye, again, with the seeing and the knowing. The seeing and the knowing. And it's almost like she's in this doorway. You see that? It's like she's stepping out into this doorway of this, again, like I said in the beginning of this video, this new beginning, this new reality, this new paradigm. New chapter or new book. It feels like a whole new book for me. A new book in your life. Really having that come forward. All right, and then really quickly, I love the colors on this one, Parvati. Let's see what Parvati is. And I apologize if I am not saying these correctly. This is a deity on page 95 in the upright. This is nuts. This is so synchronistic. The goddess of devotion, love, and yoga. I just spoke about devotion on Sunday's message. You may want to go back and check that out. If you're really resonating with what I'm saying here today, you may want to go back and see the message I did on Sunday about devotion. You pull upon Parvati when you've taken immense action towards becoming your highest self. In Hindu mythology, Parvati was in love with unattainable Shiva, who was deep in the mountains practicing yoga and detached from the material world. She knew he needed the feminine to bring him down to earth, but he was totally inaccessible. Instead of begging and pleading, Parvati decided to become her highest self and seek enlightenment through yoga. Her family objected, saying women cannot become yogis, but she headed to the mountains anyway, where she stood in a frigid stream, balancing on one leg for uncountable months or years. Eventually, Shiva felt her immense energy and fell in love with her because of her strength and determination. Parvati represents commitment to practice, unbreakable willpower, and power of self-transformation. Continue your journey towards enlightenment. I know I've gone over my normal time of how long I usually do these videos, but I really feel led to say this as well. That entire story of Parvati and Shiva has a very much mirroring feeling of the divine counterpart journey. The inner union resulting in outer union of the feminine. Instead of focusing on the thing out there, the love out there that she wants and her heart and soul is calling her towards, she goes inwards towards herself. And in whatever path is her path, in this case it was yoga, and yoga is clearly a huge part of my life that has brought me where I am and sustains me and carries me forward. But finding the practices and the things in your life that support you, that create the devotional aspect of your journey of enlightenment, that whatever you need to support and bring out your higher self, it's that path that the feminine goes down to find wholeness and completion within herself. I just saw 21:21 on the clock. And then the outer appears as well. There's so much to that I could say. I'm not gonna go there today, but let's leave the message there. Again, drop in the comments below what your sign is, what your human design is. If you found value in this video, please do subscribe, like, drop a comment. I really appreciate those of you who have been subscribing. It really helps support my channel and help send my message out there into the world for more and more people to feel it and see it and help them on their healing journey. Thank you so much for being with me, sending all the love and devotion and peace and comfort to you all. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.